Rock and Roll Grad School with your hosts, Heidi Hedquist and Luke Poland. Wherever you go, whatever you do, they will be right here waiting for you.
Hello, kiddies. We are going to have a real good time together. We are talking with Tanith. I don't know how to describe them. They are by way of New York City and the UK. A little prog, a little,
Yes.
I think hints of metal, we could say.
Mhm.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, there's a little dash of metal in there.
Yeah.
A smidgen.
I think during our conversation, we learned something very important.
We
Don't
did.
Don't interview bands at 10 a.m. the day after their record release party.
Yeah,
But I think
it's
we
not
need
really fair to the band.
right. I was going to say we need to thank them for trying to soldier through and doing their best. And
Yes,
and the record's a lot of fun.
it
Now,
is.
now I just realized last night that we did not play one of our favorite games like a few weeks ago when this was more topical. So
Is it? Go ahead.
no,
I
what
don't have
game
to
do you think it
guess.
is? Oh, you want to guess?
Well, I had an idea of what it was, but I actually think it is guess what's in the rock and roll
Exactly.
cocktail.
Yes. The drink specials at the
Mhm.
Wing Creek Event Center in Bethlehem, PA. So for Cheap Trick, featuring friend of the show, Robin Taylor Zander, they had 3 drinks.
Woohoo!
And I believe the contents of these drinks are exactly the same as the drinks that they poured for the Chicago show, which was
Okay.
2 years ago. So the Surrender,
Okay.
$12. What's in that one?
The Surrender has vodka,
Yes.
maybe something. I feel like there might be like a Chambord or a cranberry. I feel like it's red or pink.
You got it. The Surrender is Grey Goose and Cranberry. Or as we call it around these parts,
Rocket.
the Rose Kennedy.
My favorite first thing I learned about you and about the drink. I wonder if Rose Kennedy would be pleased to be in company with the Surrender.
I sure
I
hope
also
so.
wonder if I need to have some sort of evaluation because I'm weirdly good at this game.
This is shocking. And that goes for $12,
I know,
which
'cause I'm not
seems
good at
high.
anything.
But I guess they're playing it's
Yeah.
Grey Goose card because they're all name drinks.
It's a concert card.
That's true. Yes. So for $10, there's the Mighty Wings, of course.
There is not. Wait, is there really the Mighty Wings?
Yep. So
I
what's in a
cannot
Mighty
believe it.
Wings?
That's got Red Bull. Yes.
It does not. No.
Okay, that is a missed opportunity.
It really is.
Now I'm annoyed.
Yeah.
Okay, well, since I'm the only person other than said, I don't know, mixologist who created these, who ever even references Mighty Wings.
Yeah, I think they went
I'm gonna
to
go with-
Spotify and were just like, all right, 3 songs done.
Well, that's ridiculous. But
I'm not saying
gonna
it's
go,
okay.
Since I feel this is my kindred spirit, that there should be tequila in it, since that's my drink of choice.
It is not. I would
Is it bourbon?
No, I would suggest you think about the film that the song is from and sort of names and titles and positions held by various military people that also double as
It's Captain.
it is Captain Morgan.
I love that you didn't just go your dog.
Your dog. No, I thought I'd make it a little bit harder. Well, what did they put with that Captain Morgan?
Coke.
Yep, you got it. And finally,
The Flame.
the flame. You got it. You could have just guessed. I could have just said, "What are the 3 drinks?" And you would just been like Surrender, Mighty Wings, and the Flame. What's in the Flame?
It's got Fireball. Fireball.
No, I don't.
What is wrong with these people?
For a drink named the Flame, this is incredibly disappointing. I will put that out there.
All right. Is there tequila in it?
There is not. Again, should be tequila.
Oh dear Lord. Right. It should be tequila. It should be tequila and fireballs, what it should be.
Yeah, should be a long time in the
Which I
bathroom
think would be
during the, yeah.
foul. Um, actually, that could be all of them because
That's
that could
true,
be the
yeah.
surrender. That could give you mighty wings. Any of the above.
That's very, very true.
All right. So we've already got. So this one's probably Jack Daniels.
You would think, but it's not. No. Again, I think you have to.
Really?
Yeah, I would.
Flame?
I don't want to. At the
And there's
very least, the sign for the drink special does have a checkerboard pattern behind it. So at least somebody did a quick
all right.
Google before printing these out on the black and white office copier, I might add. So the
But
flame.
that's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's left? We've already got a rum, we've got a whiskey, we've got a vodka, gin.
No, it's a repeat of the vodka.
Oh, of course. Lowest common denominator. All right. Vodka and is it like a Sex on the Beach?
I don't know what's in that. Club soda is what's in it.
Vodka.
Vodka,
What?
orange
It's
vodka,
the
and club
palest
soda.
Clear. Oh, at least it's orange vodka, but
Yeah.
still.
Well, maybe this is after the fire and after all the rain. This will still be the flame.
But there's still
because it looks like it's been
it won't
incredibly
be, though,
watered
'cause-
down. It won't be.
Right. It needs to be flaming or be
Right.
spicy.
It should be
Like,
the
where's
first
my
and the
spicy
last.
skinny margarita?
It should be the first
It should
and
be
the
the
last.
first and the last.
Starlight disappearing, night after day on the run, out of mind and far from home.
How were you doing this morning? Last night was your first gig in quite a while, right?
Yeah, almost 4 years.
What was that like? Kind of get.
Last show we did was Hammer of Doom in November 2019 in Germany.
What was it like getting back on the horse?
Fantastic. Great feeling. So long. And, yeah, we've been working really hard all week since the Satan tour ended.
Mhm.
Getting the set together. It hasn't been plain sailing. It's been a little wonky at times, to say the least. But it finally came together last night on the stage. So.
Well, that's always what you want, right? They always say sort of bad dress rehearsal or rehearsals, and then the show's brilliant. You need the bad stuff for it to be perfect.
That's exactly what Keith said on the final rehearsal on Wednesday night. It was a bit of a car crash, and Keith was like, "Yeah, this is probably a good sign."
Yes, exactly. Always.
How was new material gone over? Are people digging it? I know the record literally just came out, I think today, correct?
Oh,
Yeah.
we started off with the song that nobody's heard. Like, it wasn't a single. It's on the new album, which is still wasn't out at the time. It is now. But, we started off with Mother of Exile. It's just a good opening number. But they were living it right from the get-go. It just felt so good.
That's fantastic.
Every new song we did was just like thunderous applause. People weren't going crazy. They were kind of standing, watching, listening. Like swaying. It was a perfect crowd for our unveiling of those songs.
Was there anything that surprised you last night? Anything that you went, oh, wow, okay, this is the one they're really digging on, even more so than you thought?
Hold on a sec. I've got Cindy here with me. What was the one that they really went for? It was probably stuff, wasn't it?
even remember, honestly.
That is the sign of a
I was
successful
going to say
show.
that's a very good sign.
We did two songs which are in odd meters next to each other in the middle of the set, and they seem to go a bundle for that. One has a middle section in 7/8 time with a bass solo, quite a lengthy bass solo,
Nice.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, that's the best.
and that was called Seven Moons, and the other one, Never Look Back, is also in 7/8 times, and they seem to absolutely love that. The response was so good.
That's wonderful. So what was did you guys kind of change your approach in recording Voyage versus In Another Time? Were you trying to do something different? Because your sound, I just put the record on and started listening and didn't read any of the notes and everything they sent over till later. And as soon as it started, I was like, oh, well, I can hear we like some of the same bands very clearly in a very, this is like, comfortable pair of shoes sort of way where you're just like, I get this. Were you guys trying to do something else with this record? Were you trying to kind of push it a little further?
I mean, the method of operation was slightly different, but that wasn't planned. That was kind of forced on us. We wanted to do the same thing that we did last time. I mean, we certainly did it all analog again, which was always the intention. Expensive as it is, it's hard to imagine not doing that with this band. And then of course we were a man down right at the last moment. How do you think? how can we? The studio was booked and paid for.
My gosh.
We were in a bit of a jam. So it took a few days really to realize that Charlie wasn't coming back. We just had to roll up our sleeves and get on with it. Had to take some time out to learn Charlie's guitar parts. I put down the second. We did the backing tracks with just the three of us, and then I had to come back and do Charlie's parts separately. And then we got a session guy in playing some leads, which Charlie would have played. Because I think with the lead guitar, it's important to have two different voices that play. I think you can tell if it's the same player doing everything.
Yeah.
I need to hear a clash of styles if I'm listening to a two guitar band. I'm like, oh yeah, that's KK. That's KK. So yeah, we got this guy, and Keith does a lot of session work, and he'd worked with this guitar player before. He was also a New York man, and he came along in an afternoon and did all those leads and a couple of rhythm tracks too. So. And
that's Andy Blacksugar, right?
That's Andy Blacksugar, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen him play. He's very, very good. So
yeah,
as far as
he'd never heard anything that we'd done before. He
That's
just sat
insane.
down and listened, and I always said, "Here's where we want you to start."
That's amazing.
And it's like, okay, where do I finish? And then go. Well, let's just leave that open. We'll give you a nod when we want you to finish. And we played the track, and he started playing along, and then he'd say, "All right, stop, play it again. I think I know what I want to do now." And then he'd just come up with this fantastic line. And then he would hold a note, and he was looking at us as if to say, "Should I stop here?" And we're just going to keep it rolling. And he held his note, and it actually lasted till the end of the song. You can hear it in the background. It just gets kind of faded down, but it's still going right until the last moment of the song. It's pretty incredible. We were all laughing. It was just sounded so good, and we didn't want to lose it, so we just kind of brought it down. You can still hear it in the background. That's on the play out of Mother of Exile. So. Yeah.
I loved it.
And Olympus too, yeah.
Yeah,
There
and
is,
you
there is a long note at the end of Olympus.
and you mentioned the
That
fact that
became
you
his thing. Holding onto the note.
yeah, you mentioned that you guys always record to tape. Can you talk a little bit about why you do it that way? Because, like you said, it's not the cheapest of options for recording nowadays.
It was just a flight of fancy that I had for a few years, because when I started recording, that was the only way you could record.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So it was the nostalgic thing, right? Happy memories of the first ever recording session, listening to songs on tape through the big speakers in the studio. Like, you can never recapture that first moment that happens, but
Mhm.
I certainly wanted to have a try
hmm
and recapture that. And with the new band, I just felt there was an opportunity to try and create something different, audio speaking.
And
Is
it
it?
is,
Oh,
And that worked out pretty good. And then,
yeah.
as I said, once we've done that, it's hard to go back to
Yeah, you
digital recording.
get a taste of it. Do you think,
Like,
I mean, obviously, the cost and all that, but do you think more people may return to analog if they also get a taste of it? I feel like that's happening a bit more.
I'd like to think so, but I mean, you pointed out the cost is kind of prohibitive.
Right.
We spend $2,100 on tapes alone. That's without the studio costs and the mastering. So
yeah.
You can imagine, when a band just wants to get their ideas down. Not many people have got money anymore. So the reality is that you've got to be prepared to kind of to take a bath financially,
Yeah.
if you want to do that. But it has its own rewards. But the pity is, if nobody uses tape machines anymore, then it's just going to become obsolete, because those machines need constant care, with
Yeah.
and attention, which is a lot of work if they're not paying for themselves. And White Stripes have broken up now, I think, or they stopped
Yes.
touring anyway, but they were always recording tape.
Mhm.
And there's a band in Germany who records tape, and I'm trying to think of any other bands, but nothing comes to mind. So
And you guys seem very much like again, to reference the notes, very, very married to this idea of tape, and there's a quote from one of your bandmates saying, "At no point from tracking to pressing has any of the music on this record been digitized." So clearly this is a deep held belief within the band to spend that money, to put that time in, to make the effort. Can you hear the sound, and they can hear the difference? And do you think that even carries over to when it is finally digitized, or does it's only on vinyl that quality comes through?
obviously that only applies to the vinyl.
Of course, yeah.
The vinyl master was cut on lathe, like it used to be in the old days. Most vinyl that comes out now, they're just using digital masters, to make the vinyl master from. So we actually made a vinyl lacquer, which is different. As to the sound, can people tell? I don't know. A friend of mine who's an audio buff, lifelong, old school technology man, he swears that we recorded on tape and mastered on tape, and then did digital mastering, onto 48K WAV files and cut the record from that. He swears he probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But the difference for us is we have a clause in our contract that says the label pays for vinyl mastering. So
That's
Well
how you do
played.
it. Yeah.
Yes, very well played.
we are going to use that.
Yeah.
Mhm, absolutely. Yes. Well, it was fun to check out the video for Flame this morning too. When that-
All right, yeah, that's out now.
Yes, it is. It's great. I love it. I played it for some of my friends who aren't familiar with you, and they're like, "This band is fantastic. I love this song." They're like, "I hear a little bit of this, a little bit of that, like it's their own thing, and the two singers and the amazing bit, all of it." So yes, and the video is great. So it was really fun to be able to share it with some people. And have you had much response from it yet? Sounds like not yet, because you didn't know it was out.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
you knew
really
it was out.
excited
but- Yeah.
about it because I had this kind of thing as an idea since the song was written, 3 years ago. But the kind of dark intro, quiet, and then exploding into light with the big guitar riff, and it came true.
It's so good. That's my favorite, like one of my favorite kinds of anthems is that like starting off just kind of slow and ballady, and then it's just explosive. And it was so good. I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Good.
Yeah.
That was the desired
Yes, it's fantastic.
effect.
You
I
said
appreciate that.
That's great.
you said you started writing this, or that one in particular you wrote 3 years ago. Was most of this record written during the pandemic and you're just able to record it and now obviously go out and support it now?
Some of it was written before.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it was written in 2019. I don't even think in another time had been released. We already had a demo of something new. That was probably 7 months first.
Did you revisit these songs afterwards? Like how much did they change? Because clearly, like Heidi was saying, it has this heaviness to start and then explodes into something much more lighter and seemingly encouraging and upbeat.
Well, yeah, that one changed a lot.
Mhm.
The original draft, it was. Now, don't laugh. It was called Magic of the Runes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that's awesome.
That's a good one. Yeah,
I like that. That's a fantastic title.
And yeah, Cindy didn't like it.
Well, her vote definitely counts more than ours.
I think when I look back at those words now, they were pretty cheesy. So,
But sometimes that's the best,
So we kept the music, but just did a thematic workover,
mm-hmm.
and came up with Flame, which will probably work out for the best.
Perfect.
Is it weird to be singing these songs that you wrote during such a dark time? Do you look back at them and go, this is a scrapbook of this time of everyone's lives? Or did you guys sort of like, for lack of a better term, and it sounds like it with Flame, you did sort of rewrite the ending of the story?
It was hard to even imagine being on stage again at some points,
Mm-hmm.
during those 18 months. So yeah, to finally be doing it, it all kind of seems like a bad dream now, but
Yeah.
that was just such a great feeling to be up there playing,
Mm-hmm.
with my bandmates.
Because you're in the UK and then the other two are in Brooklyn, correct? Usually.
Yeah, and also we have another guitar player now.
Oh, you do?
Also from Brooklyn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he
3 against
was
1.
playing last night. Destroyer. He's cool. That's not his real name, by the way.
Oh, but it's great.
We've known him for years. He plays in a band called Nature, and we like to go and watch them. We've done shows with them,
Mm-hmm.
and he's been an absolute hero.
That's
Worked his
fantastic.
socks off for the last few weeks, learning that stuff and rehearsing with us.
So,
And,
oh, I think we're going to ask the same question.
Nope,
So you
go ahead. Nope, you go.
No, I was just going to say, when do the rest of us get to see this in action? See the snow tiger in person?
This is a good question. Here's the catch-22 about the fact that we haven't played for so long. The trail kind of goes cold. It's hard to get
Mhm.
interest, tours and festivals, and I kind of expected that, but also knew that if we can get something out onto the market, that creates its own interest, and
Mhm.
it does. But now all the gigs are booked up solid for 6 to 9 months, and all the festivals have been booked. So it's been a bit of a catch-22. So now we're looking at going out in September.
September. All right.
Yeah,
That's good.
across here in the US.
Voyage by Tanith is available right now on their Bandcamp page. You can find that at tanithnyc.bandcamp.com. You can also follow them on Facebook, where they are at facebook.com/TanithNYC.
You can check us out on all the various socials. Be sure to visit our website at rockandrollgradschool.com, and don't forget to leave us a review.
Today's show is produced by myself and Heidi Hedquist. Our reluctant producers are John Sauvé and Sandy Stone. Our willing producers are Rachel Allen and Randy Jeanette. Our intern is Zach Jackson. This one's for Philippe. Thank you, good night, and may all your favorite bands stay together.